Special economic zones were set up to promote export-oriented manufacturing, domestic investments, and improve ease of doing business. Business units in these zones were given a host of incentives, including tax exemptions, duty-free exports, access to better infra, among others. Units in SEZ enjoy 100% income tax exemption on profits from export for the initial 5 years and 50% for the next 5 years. But the World Trade Organization has ruled that these export incentives were against its rules. Nations are not allowed to directly subsidize exports as it kills competition and distorts market prices. Even though the exports from SEZs increased to 7.59 trillion rupees in FY21 from just 22,840 crore rupees in FY06, it was nowhere close to the success achieved by China. One of the main reasons was the size of the special economic zones in India as compared to China, which has manufacturing zones in the size of megacities strategically located close to ports and trade-friendly locations such as Hong Kong. The competitive advantage that Indian SEZs enjoyed also waned over the years. Several businesses have also moved away from these zones due to alleged lack of consistency in policy. The withdrawal of tax concessions and the sunset clause, along with several ASEAN countries relaxing their regulatory laws, lured these business units to shift shops. The huge parcels of land under the SEZs are also underutilized and lying vacant due to sector-specific restrictions.
Now, one of the important aspects of the SEZ Act was that it promised world-class infrastructure in all these special economic zones. And this would have actually led to kind of increasing exports efficiency and then exports. This was the whole logic. But unfortunately, most of these SEZs did not get the kind of infrastructure that was required. The connectivity from these SEZs to the ports were extremely poor. And as a result, the entire plan, just collapsed. It really didn't give the kind of expected results.
Now, through the Development Enterprise and Services Hub Bill 2022, the government is moving away from the original idea of export-oriented production and is proposing to allow the business units in SEZs to sell in domestic markets more easily and boost domestic manufacturing. The draft bill also talks about setting up an integrated and decentralized single window clearance mechanism for time-bound approvals hubs.
The government is thinking about, improving ease of doing business. But of course, as I said that we've been talking about this for the past 30 years. So the taste of the pudding will be in eating. So let us see whether it gets implemented or not. The second aspect of this being the Desh, all these the special economic zones, being able to sell to the what we once used to call the domestic tariff area. Now, that in a way I feel is an admission that the special economic zones have not been able to export adequately. Now, we have seen in the past as well that whenever the export, their commitments have been, they've fallen short of meeting their export commitments. And overall, this thing that there would be a single window clearance, that has not happened. We have been hearing this right from the beginning of the economic reform. So 30 years we have heard this. This has actually happened. So that's a very important aspect that has to be looked at. But at the same time, I also must mention that a lot of these countries who have been successful exporters and who have engaged in the global economy successfully, they have built their strengths largely through these agglomerations. And this is what the SEZ does provided in many of the Southeast Asian countries. Of course, China is the prime example of this. So agglomeration is really very important, where the SME clusters can be built, And then, with all the common facilities and all, the SMEs can actually function more efficiently. So I feel that, we have to work on both these legs. You need clusters that have to be promoted. And at the same time, you need to look at the.
If indeed India needs the special hubs, the government must address the critical gaps in existing SEZ law through the DESH bill, and it must be thought through before bringing it to the parliament. Effective implementation of the law could act as a lever to India's growth.
If you like this video, share it and subscribe to Business Standard. For more news, views and insights, log on to www.business-standard.com. Do also follow us on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Telegram and LinkedIn.
सब अच्छी दिख रही हैं यार, कौन सी खरीदूं?
ये तो वही बात हुई, 4000 शेयर्स लिस्टेड है, कौन सा लूं?
वो तो सबसे आसान है।
तुझे 5 पैसा नहीं पता?
अब तो सबको पता है। 5 पैसा पर है 4000 स्टॉक्स की रिसर्च, टेक्निकल टूल्स और इन्वेस्टमेंट आइडियाज। डाउनलोड 5 पैसा नाउ।
अब तो सबको पता है, investing made easy and rewarding with 5 paisa. Investments in securities market are subject to market risks. Read all the related documents carefully before investing.